Smith Show, greatest show in the world. How the fuck is everybody doing tonight? Love you guys. Glad to see you. Got a pretty good show for you guys tonight. Got a big religious bullshit segment. Gonna start out with a little Karen videos, some child watch, you know, the usual. How you guys doing out there? I got a cut on my head. I don't know what the fuck happened. If a cat struck me or what the fuck. Some kind of drunk nonsense happened though, I'm sure. And I got some kind of blood whelp on my hand. No idea, man. The fuck? I'm living that rough life, but what you gonna do? Gotta not drink so much, to be honest with you. That's probably what I should do. But it's fun. It's fun. It makes you stupid, but it's fun. So, see what you guys gotta say. Dusty Zone, yeah. Hell yeah. For those of you who joined me on Wednesday, I did a patron-only show on Wednesday, and it was a complete fucking disaster. Vimeo sucks. Like, I'm going to still use it. I'm going to learn how to use it, basically. But as much as I hate YouTube, they definitely have the best platform for live streaming and for chatting with the audience and whatnot. So, anyway, for those of you who tuned into it, I'm sorry it was such a fucking disaster. I am going to learn it. It's going to be better next time. And also, in the future, I'm going to be doing more patron-only stuff. So if you guys want to see that, yeah, call it $2 for YouTube. And I tried to do an Atlas Shrugged movie review, but the problem was the audience wasn't able to hear the videos I was playing on my computer for some reason. It's just stupid. I think I know why. I think I can fix it for the future, but I ended it early, so it's not worth watching, but at least I did it. At least we have one show down for patrons only, and we're going to work on it in the future to have better content for you guys. I actually have a digital camera I bought specifically for that. I'm going to do something I've never done on my channel or show before. I'm actually going to show you guys around my house somewhat. I'm going to show you my man cave in there. We're going to introduce you to some of the dogs. I normally don't show that kind of stuff because I live in like a 200-year-old house that's old, and it needs a lot of work, and I don't like people making fun of me. But patrons only, you get to make fun of. You get to see all that shit. So patreon.com podcast. If you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description of the video. So do that. And also, super chats. Lifeblood of the show, super chats. No questions dodged. Every question answered. Super chat. Gonna read all the super chats tonight. And as always, we got 10 cats. 10 cats running around everywhere. It's a Miss Misty. I named her that because when we adopted her, she had a kitty cold and she used to sneeze in my face. So we called her Miss Misty because she missed it everything. Get that right, Miss Misty. She said, let me the fucking go. I will sneeze in your face, motherfucker. All right, and Brandon Hubert says, not having the best night. I'm sorry, Brandon. What's going on, dude? So I'll just be listening tonight. Have some money from me, though, Dusty. I will. I appreciate it. Hope you cheer up there, Brandon. And Danny Nerdnick. What's up, Danny Nerdnick? Wobble, wobble, motherfuckers. Happy Friday, Dusty. Happy Friday, Danny Nerdnick. Glad to see you. Cuddles to all your fuzzers. Let's go. We gonna go. Hell yeah. High energy as always. And check the chat real quick before we get on with the show. Oh, shit. Wobble, wobble. Yep. This show surprised me. Thought I had another hour. Has Mississippi hit daylight savings time? I don't know. It says it's 8 o'clock on my calendar right here, right? I'm right about that, right? It's 8 o'clock Central Time. I assume my shit is updating itself normally. If not, we'll just do it early. Whatever. It's fine. Man Cave. Hell yeah. Man Cave. For those of you who watch Solar Opposites. That show, it's basically, it's done by the creators of Rick and Morty. And the show is Rick and Morty. It's just with aliens instead of Rick. Like, they basically have the same godlike superpowers that Rick does, and it sounds just like Rick, but instead they explain it by technology and shit from aliens instead of just being super geniuses and whatnot. It's not a bad show. They have another season coming out for too long. Kelsey really likes it. Love me some Misty. Yeah, Misty pretty cool. Just doing bullshit, but I got my drink, so I will be okay. Hell yeah, you'll be all right. We're all in this together. We'll work it out. Sorry I did not come Wednesday. I have to work at night. Ain't no problem. We had only had like 10 people show up, but that's fine, you know. We got to get people used to the idea that we're going to be doing patron-only shows. And once we get that idea out there to you guys, more people will show up. So it's all good. What's up, Blue Novella? All right, let's go ahead and start the show. Why not? All right, so got to start out with a little bit Karen videos because, dipshit, you're caring too much. And first off, on the Karen Cavalcade, this dude kicked some people out of his gun store because they were wearing, I guess, a mask that said Black Lives Matter or something. So, of course, this genius is explaining to them how Black Lives Matter symbolism, or just the words Black Lives Matter, just BLM, is the same as a swastika. Because, of course, it is, right? It's Nazism, isn't it? Isn't Black Lives Matter the exact same as Nazis and shit? So, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit in this video to about right here.
It's been corrupted and it's tarnished.
The line Black Lives Matter has been corrupted.
But I'm just saying, if somebody comes in with a Klan shirt, they are.
You're telling me that equality is the same as fascism.
Swastika, they would be asked to leave. It's no different.
But I mean, think about Black Lives Matter, Harrison. What have we done? What have we destroyed?
You're not understanding what I'm saying. Black Lives Matter, the organization, is a fascist, Marxist organization.
No idea what fascism is.
You need to change your symbolism and create another group, and not associate.
So we need to say something other than Black Lives Matter because that offends you. It offends you to say that Black Lives Matter.
It's a racist organization. You can leave. You can stay. She can leave. If you're going to wear that, you can wear it somewhere else. If you were wearing a swastika, I wouldn't let that in here.
So you're telling me that Nazis and equality, that's equal to you?
Nazis are not equality. Fascists
exactly.
Is not equality.
You just said it.
Why are
you just said it. Nazis have nothing to do with equality.
Because, we're just trying to change things. We're trying to change laws, make things more American, more equal, more equal.
I find it hilarious that people are offended by the phrase Black Lives Matter. Is it the black part that offends you?
The organization.
We're not with the organization.
Then why are you wearing their stuff?
Because I believe that Black Lives Matter.
Why are you wearing their stuff?
Think about it this way. Just hear me out.
You're wearing their stuff. You're wearing their symbol, but you're not associated with them.
Yes,
then you need to change that. Then.
Yeah, this dude's racist as fuck. He tried to pretend like I would kick Nazis out. Bullshit. Bet he got Klan robes in his goddamn closet. Just absolutely ridiculous. Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with fascism. It is about equality. But yeah. He's offended at the thought that Black lives might matter because all lives matter, right? Yeah. And next up on the Karen videos, did you guys see this one? This is a retired LAPD detective, John Amato. So I guess he got in a fender bender or something with a black dude and gets out and starts calling him a monkey and starts shouting the N-word and whatnot. Because sure, why wouldn't the police or retired police behave in this way?
Are you going to take your ID out, or yes or no? Y'all hear this shit? Are you going to get your identification out, yes or no? Y'all be a nigger, right? No. He started the nigger thing, because he is the dumb man. Yeah, I said it second, right after you.
Yeah, I said it second, so that's okay, folks. Okay. It's okay for me to call you the N-word as long as you said it first. It's not racist then, so yeah. Now they're having to look over the more than 300 cases he worked as a homicide detective in the LA police department because, this kind of racist behavior bleeds over into your other work, There's no reforming this, no telling how many people he abused with the power he had as an LAPD homicide officer. So, yeah, not surprising, not shocking in any way, but name and shame John Motto. Here's the attention you ordered. Enjoy. And, folks, not just white people can be racist. I know that some people think black folks can't be racist, but they can. And here's a great example of this really, really unlikable black fellow screaming at an Asian person to go back home right in front of the cops and threatening him and making fun of his penis size and all that kind of bullshit because he's trash. Let's have a look.
Whatever fucking name is, George fucking Floyd, nigga, that shit ain't going nowhere, nigga. Yeah, nigga, it's my country. Shut your white ass up. You can say no little Chinese ass back to Asia. Look what y'all doing. Y'all can kill me anyway. Kill me. I do know what I'm talking about. Shut your Chinese ass up, nigga. That's why your dick. You got the smallest dick on the planet. We got the biggest dick. They know. You got the smallest dick on the planet. I don't want to see it. No, I don't want to see it. That shit too little. I will fuck your wife better than you. Your wife fucked me one time, she would never go back to your old ass. Take your hair off. Take your hat off. You got a bald spot. You don't grow no hair. You don't got no hair.
Man, you should be a comedian.
I don't give a fuck. Nigga, try to be smooth. Nigga, it's my shit, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, I will beat the shit out you too, Chinese.
Come across so ignorant and uneducated when you behave this way.
Shut up. They got to beat the shit out your little Chinese ass. Go give me some shrimp fried rice, nigga. Go make my shrimp fried rice, nigga. Go make my orange chicken, nigga.
I mean, the oppressed oppressing other people that have been oppressed. It's really sad to see. No camaraderie whatsoever. So, yeah, don't behave this way. There's been a uptick in both Asian racism, that is, racism aimed at Asians, and also violence aimed at Asians. We're going to get into that, of course, because we had another mass shooting from a Christian terrorist day before yesterday. That's coming up in the What the Fuck section. But sad to see people behave like this. And next up, crazy conspiracy theories, folks. We've heard similar things like this before, but yep, it's totally Black Lives Matter and Antifa are the ones who did the Capitol insurrection, right, folks? It wasn't Trump supporters. Why would they take any responsibility for what they've done?
Who was at Capitol Hill? Were you at Capitol Hill?
Yes.
On January 6th?
Yes. At 7 in the morning, I got to the rally, and there were hundreds of thousands, if not millions of patriots. I got on top of a porta potty and saw Trump, and it was one of the most epic moments of my life as a patriot. I do believe that BLM and Antifa did leak in and started the violence. I also have heard that it was an inside job where the doors were opened,
really?
and it was a setup.
So the police set it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who exactly, but I've heard from multiple sources. I saw Antifa busted, and a lot of them were wearing Trump hats backwards.
The Antifa members were the ones wearing a MAGA hat, but they're wearing it backwards.
Exactly. You could see those type of people. They just had this violence and this Antifa bit about them.
Yeah, and this Antifa bit about them. You know, Trump supporters, they were violent. Conservatives, white supremacists, not violent at all. Definitely was Antifa wearing Trump hats, folks. These are the same people that constantly tell you to take responsibility for your actions, constantly tell you not to play the victim and blame other people, never take responsibility for anything, continuously blame everybody else, because they're all full of shit, folks. The culture war is all they have. These ridiculous narratives because their policies are so disliked by the public. And probably the most Karen story you'll hear this week, folks. Last week, it was a mother making deepfake videos of her daughter's cheerleader rivals to try to get them kicked off the cheerleading squad. And now, apparently, this woman who works at the school, I guess hacked in. I guess she didn't have to hack in because she worked there, but went into the school's computer system and changed the votes to make sure her daughter would win homecoming queen. Yeah, why not, right? And they're basically just bragging about it. But she was arrested today and booked into the Escambia County Jail with a bond of $8,500. Her daughter was taken into custody and transferred to the Escambia Regional Juvenile Detention Center. So yeah, imagine going to jail over homecoming. What the fuck is wrong with you people? America's priorities are so fucked up. And that's my Karen material for today. Short but sweet. Let's see what you guys got to say in the chat real quick. And then we'll continue on to the What the Fuck section. This brought us too stupid to breathe. I know, right? Really want to make sure her daughter won. Because it's really important to be homecoming queen. Yo, got to be popular. You can smell the Antifa in them, I know. They just look like Antifa. All the white people with Trump flags and Trump hats on. You can just tell. Why wouldn't Antifa do that? And also, we know they weren't Antifa because they've been arrested, many of them, and we can see their Facebook pages for years and years, them being Trump supporters. But nah, Antifa just did that as cover for themselves. They've been pretending to be Trump supporters for 3 or 4 years and having a backlog of Trump love just so they could fool us all on the inauguration, I guess January 4th. Let's see, who goes to jail over that? Ignorant assholes, dipshits. Wednesday's my birthday. I'm 22 now. Happy birthday, Vincent. Hope you have a good one. Smoke it if you got it. Wish I could. Can't smoke. Would you get away from my computer, please? Mr. Tot. That's not Mr. Tot. Half stash is what I call him. But Daddy, I want Oompa Loompa now. I know, right? Instant gratification. How is that a crime? How is it a crime to hack into the school's system and change the students' votes to make it to where your daughter wins homecoming queen? I guess, it seems pretty obvious why that would be a crime. It's voter fraud. Real life voter fraud. Drunken bar fight part 2. I still got that game somewhere. Maybe I'll play it again someday. It's pretty fun. Back in the day. Drump NZ. Yep. Hello, half stash. I get around my computer. That made me nervous. I'm gonna cut that shit off. So if my stream cuts off, it's the cats. Because cats are assholes. All right, let's check the super chats. $5 from Teresa Champagne. Appreciate it, Teresa. And $5 from Corey Davis. Dusty, you got to delete Twitter when you're drunk, man. You're unhinged. I mean, what's unhinged about what I say on Twitter? It's not that big of a deal, to be honest with you. I compliment Macklemore a lot. I talk about how much better Macklemore is than Eminem, which is just a insider joke about how drunk I am. And I do make fun of other lefties for not inviting me on their shows and shit. I bitch about that when I'm drunk, but there's nothing really that unhinged when I'm drunk on Twitter. You're exaggerating, but it's cool. If you can't get on Twitter and make an ass of yourself when you're drunk, then it's not even America anymore. And Minx became a member of the Dust Buddies. Welcome, Minx. Good to have you. For those guys who want to become a member of the Dust Buddies, you get customized emojis you can spam the chat with. So it's $2.99 a month. Become a Dust Buddy. Cool, cool, cool. All right, that's all the super chats. Not a whole lot of people tuning in tonight for whatever reason, but it's all good. Probably other shit going on out there. And next up, we're going to do a little what the fuck. Got some bad what the fucks this week, Christian terrorists. But what the fuck? First off, what the fuck, you guys probably heard about this, but this incel motherfucker with the worst scraggly ass neck beard you've ever fucking seen decided that he's going to go murder a bunch of Asian women. Yeah, I guess 6 out of the 8 people he killed are Asian women at the spa that I guess he frequented it. I read an article earlier today that said before he did it, he waited out in the parking lot for an hour ahead of time, and then he was actually in the spa, the massage parlor or whatever, for like an hour before he started his killing spree. He went to another place and killed some more people, but so I don't know if like he was in there getting a hand job or something, but apparently he thought he was a sex addict. And I guess, of course, the women tempted him, so he had to murder them. Man, I don't blame women for being terrified of dudes. You know, these crazy ass dudes could just fucking kill you for nothing. Literally because how you made them feel, which is nothing that they can control how you feel. And this guy probably, hates women. I can only assume. Look at this dweeb. Probably has to pay women to give him attention, and that probably drives him fucking crazy and shit. Because, he's look at him. He's fucking pathetic. Would you get away from my computer? Get. Go away. Get away from my... Go back the way you came. Go back the way you came. God damn it. Come on, guys. Help me out now. What the fuck's going on? All right. Let me get situated again. Sorry about that. I'm worried they're going to go hit the power button and turn that shit off. All right. So it came out that he was at some kind of a Christian, I guess it's almost like they have ex-gay therapy there for one, but I guess it's like a counseling center. He was involved in it twice, where I guess he was trying to get help for his sexual addiction. Man, this is just another example of Christianity creating terrorists. I remember similar things happened to me when I was young. I didn't go to any kind of counseling or anything, but even for the time I was a small child, I was made to feel incredibly fucking guilty for masturbating. And I remember I would masturbate and then I would cry about it. And I wouldn't stop doing it, of course. I would just ask Jesus for forgiveness and be like, I'm sorry, Jesus. And I would cry and ask Jesus for forgiveness. But then I would just do it again a couple hours later. But then I would just ask for forgiveness again because you don't actually have to stop doing it. You just got to ask for forgiveness, and it's cool. Loophole, masturbation loophole. But we really got to start teaching these Christians that sex is not something to be ashamed of. Sex is not bad. Don't jump down to... Shh. God damn it. These fucking cats, dude. I'm about to get them out of the fucking room, I guess, for the future shows, because this is annoying having to yell at them constantly. We got to teach positive sex reinforcement to these Christians. They're taught that they're sinful just because of... their nature. Nature makes us sexual beings. Nature makes us horny. Nature makes us want to have sex. It's not evil. It's not a sin. It's not a crime against God or any of that shit. It's so fucking ridiculous that Christianity causes these certain people to be so fucking repressed that they want to murder over it. Of course, instead of just killing himself over it, he had to kill the women over it. Of course, he's alive. He gave himself up, right? But he gonna fucking kill women because he can't handle his fucking sex drive. Just what a goddamn dork. Piece of shit in every fucking way. Another example of a Christian terrorist. And we're going to get into this a little bit more later about the WAP, the wet-ass pussy controversy. The conservatives and Christians are going crazy about that. But it's just another example of how the puritanical Christian belief causes people to believe sex is evil. our natural urges are evil and make people feel bad about it, like they're like subhuman. This guy obviously felt like he is subhuman. I guess he felt correctly about himself because he is a subhuman piece of trash in every goddamn way. But I think we got the cats out of here, so no more cats getting near the computer. That was annoying. Sorry about that. See what you guys are saying over here. Got to get serious. I can hear them. Furries raving. Yep. So anyway, another cat. She's wrangling up all the cats and getting out of here. So then the cop, who was the spokesperson for the case, went out there, and a lot of people were really angry about what he had to say. I have, I guess, a alternative take that most people might have to this. This got 10.8 million views, so let me play what he said, and then I'll comment on it.
The investigators, they interviewed him this morning, and they got that impression that, yes, he understood the gravity of it, and he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
Remorseful?
I'm not going to go to...
So, yeah, yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did. So a lot of people were taking that as basically the cop's comments on his thinking behind why this dipshit did what he did. But I think what he was actually doing here is he was explaining what the kid said. The kid, his 21-year-old kid, said he was having a really bad day. He was just expressing what the kid told him, which, you know, he definitely shouldn't have said it that way. And apparently they took him off the case as the spokesperson. But I'm not going to defend this cop too much because it seems like they're trying to downplay whether this was racially motivated or not. Like I said, there's been a huge uptick in crimes against Asian people. And it seems like a lot of these cops are trying to downplay the racist angle of it because they themselves are Trump supporters. And they know if this terrorist attack is tied to racist Asian sentiments, that it's going to make Donald Trump look bad. Because we know that Donald Trump has helped spread this hatred towards Asians. And this cop has also help spread this racist bullshit. So he posted on his Facebook page these shirts he's real proud of, calling COVID-19 the China virus, and China in the same way that Trump says it. I love my shirt, he says. Get yours while they last. Yeah, so basically he's spreading this racist, anti-Asian sentiment also. Not the guy you want in charge as the spokesperson in a case where 6 Asian women were murdered by some pretty... It seems to me like it's pretty obvious he was racist. I mean, he said he wasn't. He said he did it because he was trying to help people not be tempted by these sexual immoralities like he was. But he passed multiple strip clubs on his way to these Asian massage parlors to murder them. So, yeah, these fucking dipshits shouldn't even be on the goddamn police department, much less in charge as the spokesperson in cases like this. But they removed him from the case. What a piece of shit. And, of course, Andy No-Go, he has to get out there and try to find ways to demonize the massage therapist, or maybe they were sex workers. I don't know. It's possible. But so he posted this, looking into the massage parlors that were shot up. So, yeah, he's trying to basically demonize the people that were murdered, almost blaming the victims is what it looks like to me. And so I guess he's showing how the massage parlors were actually also involved in some sex trade, which is fine. Who gives a shit? You know? Prostitution should be legal anyway. It would actually help people like this guy if he was taught that sexuality is not a sin. It's not a crime against God. And he was given outlets. Like, obviously, he probably can't attract women, but if he was given outlets to where he could pay for it, he might have, you know, been able to get his nut and calm the fuck down where he wouldn't be a goddamn Christian terrorist that's going to spend the rest of his life in prison now. Sex work is real work, and we should be demonizing sex workers. Fuck you, Andy. No go. Ridiculous. And then, of course, Steven Crowder, racist-ass Steven Crowder getting out there and pretending like he gives a shit about Asian Americans. We absolutely must put an end to racism against Asian Americans. This is literally you, motherfucker, doing the worst type of stereotyping of Asian people to belittle them. Now, this stuff wasn't even funny in the 50s, and the 50s and the 60s, where this kind of racism was common. It's so dated and out and old. Conservatives are getting better at comedy, and the left is getting nervous. No. But this is the kind of shit that YouTube protects, right? Somebody like me didn't do anything, banned for 3 weeks. This guy literally fucking protected by YouTube. And so that was pointed out. The CEO of YouTube went public and said, yesterday's attack against the Asian and Pacific Islander community in Atlanta is heartbreaking. Those killed leave behind friends, family, and loved ones. We stand together to honor their memory by supporting organizations like blah, 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 blah. And they pointed out, dude, you literally are supporting these racist pieces of shit. You literally protect them. Quit playing, man. It's all about money to YouTube. You don't actually give a fuck. All you care about is money. Don't insult our intelligence. Look at this fucking racist shit that you guys protect. And I'm about to show you something even more racist. And it even surprised me, folks, how racist this clip is. Show Dakota Johnson said the same thing. A lot more racist than I expected, actually. So this is Steven Crowder just being racist as fuck towards black farmers and totally being protected by YouTube as he does it. Prepare yourself for some old ass classic racism.
I don't know where you find this many farmers of color, but they did, and $5.2 billion are being allocated exclusively for colored farmers. Farmers of color, roll the tape.
Oops, I had it covered up on accident.
We begin today's show looking at a major provision in President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill that aims to address decades of discrimination against Black, Hispanic, Native American, and Asian American farmers who've historically been excluded from government agricultural programs. The American Rescue Plan sets aside $10.4 billion for agriculture support and allocates about half the funds to farmers of color who are, quote, subjected to racial or ethnic prejudice because of their identity as members of a group, unquote. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights confirmed as long ago as 1965 the U.S. Department of Agriculture discriminated against black farmers, but little was done to address the problem. 100 years ago?
Yeah, most happy.
100 years ago. 1965 was not 100 years ago, you dumbass.
About the new policy, these people. So, yeah. I'm gonna buy a plow, man.
I'm gonna plant that corn.
Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that ass. You.
I thought the last thing they would want to do is be farmers. Wasn't that a big problem for hundreds of years?
Yeah. Isn't that why Arsenio Hall called himself the urban man's Johnny Carson?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Are people lining up out in the middle of cornfield, Iowa for new dunks?
How would you prove this, by the way? Like, how would you prove that you've been discriminated against?
You don't have to. You just
Well, I didn't get that loan. Sir, you had no credit. Well, that should not have stopped me from getting the loan.
I planted a Hennessy tree, but it's not growing.
Well, technically, it did grow, but that shit ain't XO.
I put it in the ground.
I planted a VSOP XO tree. I'm getting in some niche esoteric cognac humor, motherfucker.
Don't white people just go to their neighborhoods and build urban farms and ruin their communities? Isn't that what white people
works? In Detroit. Turns out the soil content is a high level of meth.
Yeah, crazy.
Whoa. Wow, I didn't know.
That and teeth. There's random teeth littered everywhere.
And by the way,
pain in my arugula.
I mean, holy shit, dude. Like, that's breathtaking racism right there. Breathtaking. Yeah, they removed that video, but the reason they removed it was not because of the racism. They said he spread COVID misinformation. But his channel's still up. He wasn't suspended or banned or anything as far as I could fucking tell. So YouTube literally protecting some of the worst racism you can see on any fucking social media platform. And they're going to fucking play lip service and pretend like they give a fuck. And it's just amazing how unfunny it is. This is what conservative comedy has become. Of course, it's always what conservative comedy has always been about. This is why they're like, oh my God, you guys are just too politically correct. No, you're clearly fucking racist as shit. It's not funny. It's old. It's played out. And it's sad that this is what YouTube is protecting, but not surprised. It's all about fucking money with these people. Lying fucks. All right. Next up, the what the fuck? Shut that asshole down. Disappointed in your YouTube. And last up, what the fuck? Did you guys see this one? So apparently this female basketball player wants to point out the discrepancy between how they treat female players and male players. And it's sort of breathtaking.
I got something to show y'all. So for the NCAA March Madness, the biggest tournament in college basketball for women, This is our weight room. Let me show y'all the men's weight room.
Yeah. Slightly different there, isn't it?
Now, when pictures of our weight room got released versus the men's, the NCAA came out with a statement saying that it wasn't money, it was space that was a problem. Let me show y'all something else. Here's our practice court, right? And then here's that weight room. And then here's all this extra space.
They don't give a shit about you.
If you aren't upset about this problem, then you're a part of it.
Yep, it's part of the patriarchy. Different set of rules. Of course, I'm sure part of it is because the men's basketball team probably brings in a lot more money. And it's all about the almighty dollar. They don't really give a shit about you except for what you can provide for them. That's capitalism for you, but definitely a problem that needs to be called out. So thought I'd give a little attention to it. And all right, well, that's my what the fuck section. We're going to do a little bit of heroes, but let's stop and read the chat real quick. Catalina Gearbox, what's up, Catalina? Would someone tell me how YouTube censors the right again? I know, I mean, I'm sure sometimes they censor the right, but like at the top, their most popular shows get like Tim Pool, Crowder, all the most popular right-wing shows, they literally get protected by YouTube because by the almighty dollar, you know. So I wish I could get in on that, get some protection. Sucks to get banned. We don't even fucking do anything. And Penn Sylvester said, hey, Dusty, you should get yourself a spray bottle, fill it with water, and use that to deter the kitties. Yeah, I don't really want to spray water towards my computer. That doesn't seem like a good idea, but probably needed something like that for the future. You don't have to move or yell, yeah, but like I said, don't want to spread other towards my computer because electronics and water don't mix very well. It'd be my dumb ass fizzling out my computer and shutting the show down. And Peter, Canadian $10, I am so sick of these damn incels. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 27. Being turned down sucks, but my desire are not more important than someone else's rights. So many men need to realize that, yeah, we just need to teach that masturbation is normal and good. And you should regularly masturbate. There's no shame in it whatsoever. There should be no stigma at all. But instead, they're made to feel like, oh my God, I'm sinners. God's looking at me and he's judging me. I'm going to go to hell for it. No, man, we got to quit that bullshit. Christianity just breeds these terrorists. It's ridiculous. And Yo-Yo Shio 267. Seen the green screen Biden interview? Yeah, I saw that. There's a conspiracy theory that Biden walking out in front of the White House or whatever was green screen. Of course, it's not. They're just so stupid. And E, what's up, E? Made it better late than never. Well, you didn't miss the religious bullshit segment. Yeah, we got a big religious bullshit segment. So glad to see you tonight. And all right. Fuzzy treats from Jenny Rude. Thank you, Jenny Rude. Appreciate it. $4.99. You rock. All right. More super chats, please, if you want to, if you're able. And let's do a couple heroes to cheer us up from the horrors we have just witnessed. First off, Elliot Page, who I think is kind of a hero. I think anybody who, first, to establish yourself and become famous and then have the guts to completely live your truth and make such a drastic change publicly, have the courage to do that, to me is something that should be celebrated. So he had top surgery and released some new pictures. And he's looking pretty cute, gotta say. He's really, you know, he looks much more masculine. Definitely leaning into the transition, which is good. And he looks happy. So glad to see it. Yep. I'm fully who I am. Actor Elliot Page in the fight for trans equality. So they did a big write-up about him in the New York Times. So good, you know. Hopefully this will encourage other people to have the guts to live their truth and be who they want to be. As long as you're happy, it's all good. And you guys see this one? This went viral. This father who's trying to speak out against all these transgender laws they're trying to pass. They just passed one in Mississippi here to make sure that trans women can't compete in sports anymore. You know, it's supposed to be about camaraderie. It's supposed to be about more than just one person competing against another person. And the playing field is supposed to be completely level, which it never can be. There are so many different factors that go into sports. But it's supposed to be about teamwork and finding friends, a place you belong, camaraderie. That's the important part of sports to me. I hate sports. But like I can understand it from that viewpoint. So he went and testified in front of Congress about his trans daughter and his experiences. And it went viral, 7.2 million views. Let's have a listen.
My name is Brandon Bulware, and Chairman, I'll go as quickly as I can. I'm a lifelong Missourian. I'm a business lawyer. I'm a Christian. I'm the son of a Methodist minister. I'm a husband. I'm the father of 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls, including a wonderful and beautiful transgender daughter who today happens to be her birthday. And I chose to be here. She doesn't know that. She thinks I'm at work. One thing I often hear when transgender issues are discussed is, I don't get it. I don't understand. And I would expect some of you to have said that and feel the same way. I didn't get it either. For years, I didn't get it. For years, I would not let my daughter wear girl clothes. I did not let her play with girl toys. I forced my daughter to wear boy clothes and get short haircuts, play on boy sports teams. Why did I do this? To protect my child. I did not want my daughter or her siblings to get teased. And truth be told, I did it to protect myself as well. I wanted to avoid those inevitable questions as to why my child did not look and act like a boy. My child was miserable. I cannot overstate that. She was absolutely miserable, especially at school. No confidence, no friends, no laughter. I honestly say this, I had a child who did not smile. We did that for years. We did that against the advice of teachers, therapists, and other experts. I remember the day everything changed for me. I'd gotten home from work, and my daughter and her brother were in the front lawn. And my daughter had sneaked on one of her older sister's play dresses. And they wanted to go across the street and play with the neighbor's kids. It was time for dinner. I said, come in. She asked, can she go across the street? I said, no. She asked me if she went inside and put on boy clothes, could she then go across the street and play? And it's then that it hit me that my daughter was equating being good with being someone else. I was teaching her to deny who she is. As a parent, the one thing we cannot do, the one thing, is silence our child's spirit. And so on that day, my wife and I stopped silencing our child's spirit. The moment we allowed my daughter to be who she is, to grow her hair, to wear the clothes she wanted to wear, she was a different child. And I mean, it was immediate. It was a total transformation. I now have a confident, a smiling, a happy daughter. She plays on a girls' volleyball team. She has friendships. She's a kid. I came here today as a parent to share my story. I need you to understand that this language, if it becomes law, will have real effects on real people. It will affect my daughter. It will mean she cannot play on the girls' volleyball team or dance squad or tennis team. I ask you, please don't take that away from my daughter or the countless others like her who are out there. Let them have their childhoods. Let them be who they are. I ask you to vote against this legislation.
So that's a great dad right there. And it's sad to see that's exactly what they've done to people in Mississippi here. You know, the people that need it the most, the camaraderie, the friendship, are people like trans women and men who need that place to belong, because for so long they haven't had that space. They've been mocked and ridiculed and haven't had that camaraderie, and they're just taking that away from them. Spreading trans panic. This is not even an issue. But they're scapegoating them because conservative policies are so goddamn unpopular. They have to have something to scare you with. And this is what they've chosen. I'm really ashamed to be a Mississippi. I'm ashamed at my state. It's embarrassing. But while we're on the heroes, let's keep it positive. Dwayne Wade, who I don't watch basketball, but apparently he is a very good basketball player. And he also came out in support of trans rights, which is amazing. He has a giant platform to do so. And apparently he has a transgender daughter who he's very supportive of. And so he came out and he shared that video I just played for you guys and talked about his relationship with his daughter. My daughter was my first interaction when it comes to having to deal with this conversation with ABC News. Hopefully, I'm dealing with it the right way. Inside our home, we see the smile on my daughter's face. We see the confidence that she's able to walk around and be herself. And that's when you know you're doing right. Yeah, and this is a big, big change. When you see like a famous black sports athlete come out and support his daughter like this. A few years ago, it wouldn't have been that common or that acceptable. But like heroes like him who are willing to stand up for what's right and be brave enough to do the right thing are really helping push it in the right direction. So kudos to you, Dwayne Wade. Love to see that. And one more hero. We were talking earlier about the uptick in violence against Asian people. Apparently this guy just walked up and punched this Asian woman. It was the second Asian woman supposedly he attacked, and she got a stick and beat his ass. And Donald Trump and those assholes among you who spread the China virus bullshit, you are absolutely partially responsible for this kind of shit. This spirit of hatred against Asian people that is spread across our country. This is not what America's supposed to be about, folks. It's absolutely embarrassing. But anyway, good on her for fighting back. I'm sorry that she got hurt. I'm sorry to see her pain in her face, but hero in my opinion. And that's my hero section for tonight. Yeah, bless her heart. Makes me want to cry. I haven't cried on the show in a while. And I'm going to try not to do it now. All right, let's move on to the Chud Watch. Chud Watch! Pull up the graphics. Don't cry, Dusty. Talking about Chud Watch. Gonna do some Chud Watch now. Do not cry. So apparently, conservatives are rooting for Vladimir Putin again. Rooting for Putin. So I guess somebody asked Biden about Putin, and Biden said that he's a killer, which yes, he's absolutely a killer. He's poisoned his political rivals. He supposedly shot down a plane or helped blow up a plane that killed 92 people, and the Polish president also was on that plane, so he was supposedly directly tied to that. And that's, a drop in the bucket to the people that Putin has killed. But of course, our world is run by children, so his response was, takes one to know one. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces on me and sticks to you, because this is the level of our politics globally in this goddamn trash world we live in. But I never thought I would see the day where conservatives, of all people, Republicans, would start worshiping Russia and the Russian president. Because when I grew up, folks, Russia was like the ultimate boogeyman. They used to make us do drills in school, to get up at our desks and shit, because Russia was going to attack us any second now. Remember Red Dawn? Red Dawn, Russia come over and parachuted in our country and go in our schools and kill our kids, and we had to go to the mountains and fight them back and shit, because, Russia, they were the most evil people on the goddamn earth. Well, now Fox News is totally on Russia's side. They're taking Russia's side over our own president, because this is what it's become in this country.
Question is this: why would Vladimir Putin immediately call for a debate with Joe Biden with no time to prepare? What have I been saying? What have some of us, half the American people, saying? The media mob in this country, they protect all things radical socialist Joe Biden and his administration.
Yeah, dunking on Joe Biden over Putin. Good goddamn, never thought I'd see it. And wasn't the only one to do it. Here's another one. It's Matt Gaertz. Giggity giggity goo. Human cartoon.
Putin and Biden, it would not end like Rocky IV. I don't think the American would prevail. Obviously,
literally rooting against our own president. These are the same people that told you kneeling during the anthem was unpatriotic, but literally rooting for Russia against our own president. Where are the patriots? Just goes to show you they actually hate our country, folks. Here's some more examples of it. Here's some parlor messages from conservatives. I honestly rather have Putin as our president than Biden. Yeah. Russia, could we trade presidents? Anything's better than Creepy Joe. They literally want dictators to run our country. They don't give a shit that he poisons his political enemies. He murders people. Doesn't matter, folks. They hate democracy. Go Putin. Biden isn't our president. He is. Putin for president. Yeah. Conservatives beyond goddamn parity. Amazing. And they're such whiny goddamn piss babies. This sign, it literally says something very adult and practical. After getting the COVID-19 vaccine, wear a mask. Yeah, we should continue wearing masks, in my opinion, folks. We've almost eradicated the flu season with social distancing and wearing a mask. Not spitting on everything when we go out in public, go to restaurants, go to shop at Walmart. Seems good. Like sometimes I'm in my car driving home, I stick my mask on because I forgot to take it off, because it's literally nothing. I forget it's even goddamn on. But yeah, wear a mask, wash your hands, avoid crowds, and choose activity wisely. Yeah, mature, adult, reasonable advice. Or, as these whiny piss babies say, a Washington, D.C. public health campaign. Go get your shots, after which time you still won't be able to do anything at all. It literally says, just choose activities wisely. You can still do whatever you want to, but they always got to play the fucking victim. Can't be bothered to behave as rational, reasonable adults in any way. And, oh yeah. Man, I kind of feel bad for Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson back, and he's doing interviews again. And it's so hard to fucking believe, folks, that this guy has made multi-millions of dollars writing self-help books. And he literally seems like one of the most miserable people on the whole fucking planet. Why would anybody take self-help advice from this miserable fuck?
But I mean, I think, you know, I know your audience, and they'll accept you any way you can show up for them. And I think, you know, the key thing is to figure out how to get out of the predicament of having to go through that Herculean struggle every day.
Yeah, well, it's beyond. I've been struggling with it for 2 years. I can't get out of it. I can't. Well, I mean, I'm out of it to some degree. I'm living at home again. I'm not in the hospital. But the reason I'm not in the hospital is because there's nothing that can be done for me in the hospital. Like, there's no point in me going to a hospital. It will just make it worse. When I wake up in the morning, like any sensible person would go to the emergency room and say, look, this just isn't possible. But it's irrelevant because all that will happen, and I've been in like 4 hospitals, so I know all that happens is I'm made much worse. And so I live in 15-minute increments, fundamentally.
Wow. Well, it's they're going to come after you for succeeding and for people doing, you know, what they can in order to get you to keep going.
I live such a sybaritic existence. I drink sparkling water and nothing else ever. And I eat nothing but meat ever. And so my luxuries, this is so it's so absurd. My luxuries have been high-end toothpicks and sparkling water.
Why would anybody listen to this guy? Somebody in the chat just said his wife died. No, she didn't. If you continue to spread misinformation, I'm going to kick you out. Now, they claimed his wife had cancer, and that's why he got on benzos. And they claimed that she miraculously got cured and is 100% cured of cancer now. I don't know why you're lying. Probably because you're some kind of right-wing piece of shit. But if you do that again, boom, you can't use my platform to spread lies. Piece of shit. But yeah, I don't know why anybody listens to this guy. But it's hilarious. Conservatives are funny in a bad way. And he also said that hospitals are a net negative. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't hospitals be a net negative?
I suspect if you did the statistics properly, I suspect that medicine, independent of public health, kills more people than it saves. I suspect if you factor in phenomena like the development of superbugs in hospitals,
God, he's such an idiot.
That overall the net consequence of hospitals is negative. Now that's just a guess, but it could easily be wrong, but it also could not be wrong.
It could be wrong, but it could also not be wrong, says conservative genius Jordan Peterson. Yeah, no shit. Could be right, could be wrong. That's only 2 options. What the fuck? No, modern medicine is not a net negative. Dumbass. Man, I swear, I said this on my Twitter feed. If that guy would just take the stick out of his goddamn ass and smoke weed, it would change his whole fucking life. But I guess he's just so pent up and regressed, he can't bring himself to do that. He looks down upon people that smoke weed, but getting addicted to benzos and getting put in a coma in a Russian hospital is totally fucking cool. And next up on the Chud Watch. Oh, yeah, they're freaking out, folks. They're freaking out. This is what I was talking about before, folks. This is one of the things that leads to people like the Christian terrorist going out there and murdering people because they're made to feel so shit for their sexual urges. The demonizing of sex that conservatives are doing all over the place. They're freaking out because they did a wet-ass pussy dance on the Grammys. Like, literally, who watches the Grammys anyway? I don't like the wet-ass pussy song, but I don't give a fuck. Who cares? If you don't like it, turn it the fuck off. And they're literally siding with Islam now. because they're so ashamed of sexuality. They're so afraid of sexuality. Lauren Chin, Islam may have a point about the West. Before long, these fundamentalists are literally going to be siding with Islam over other Americans because they can't stand women doing what they want with their own body, expressing their sexuality in whatever way they want to. It's none of your fucking business. And Lauren Southern, non-Westerns are much better at pointing out simple truths and reality. No, they're not. What in the goddamn hell? I guess it's part of her redemption arc. She's supposed to have gotten better. Doesn't look like it. Westerners are far too smart and detached from human struggle. They can spend their days concocting new realities in their imaginations. That's projection for you. A culture of mentally ill children, said the white supremacist. And of course, she also wrote this book, Barbarians, How Baby Boomers, Immigrants, and Islam Screwed My Generation. So when it suits her, when it comes to not being sex positive, she's willing to join sides with Islam. But otherwise, she's literally going to throw them under the fucking bus. Same people that continuously tell us not to blame other people for your problems, that pick yourself up by your bootstraps. They screwed my generation. They took our germs. Just fucking insanity. And of course, more of this. I agree with Dark Matter. The subtle fear-mongering doesn't work well anymore. No one's buying anymore. They have to ramp it up continuously. But we see right through it, because it's the same exact shit they've done forever, folks. When I was a kid, it was 2 Live Crew. Sitting at home with my dick on hard. I got my black book for a freak to call. I love 2 Live Crew, man. They wouldn't even sell me 2 Live Crew. I was too young. I had to get my dad to go in and buy me a 2 Live Crew CD. And it's exactly the same fearmonger they did back then they're doing right now. And they're acting like it's some new shit. But it's not. It's always been like this. They've always been afraid of sexualized songs because they have to have something to make you afraid of. They have to have something they can sell you, some fear they can sell you because their policies are so unpopular. So here's Candace Owens on Tucker Carlson's show. He's always looking constipated. Forever constipated Tucker Carlson, 3.2 million views.
Any words about it. They call this great. They say this is fabulous, that this is the stuff that children should be aspiring towards. So at the same time, Tucker, that we have kids that are not learning hard academics anymore in school, right? Forget about mathematics and science. You can trust the science and trust Dr. Fauci, but you have these kids learning about critical race theory. They're learning that they should aspire to people like Cardi B. You see that fundamentally we are seeing the destruction of American values, American principles. And it's
first of all, if all it takes is for wet ass pussy to destroy American values, then it deserves to be destroyed. It's not very strong if that's all it fucking takes to collapse it. Just ridiculous.
Terrifying. I think parents should be terrified that this is the direction that our society is headed towards. And again,
so scary.
We are weakening America. That's really what we should be talking about. This is a weakening of American society. We are setting the stage, and it feels like we are looking at corrosion, like we are about to see the end of an empire. America cannot survive. It cannot be sustained under these sorts of values.
America cannot survive Cardi B's wet ass pussy, y'all. That's how weak we are. This is how little they think of America. They actually hate it. And like I said, this is exactly the type of shit that leads to like Christian terrorists feeling like, oh my God, I got horny, so I have to kill a woman because it's sinful. No, motherfucker. Sex is good. Sex is positive. Oh, we got to quit supporting these type of people, but I know conservatives never will because it's all they goddamn got. And more fear of the wet ass pussy, y'all. And there's Dave Rubin, and it's weird because Dave Rubin literally says wet ass pussy in this clip, and it's funny to hear him say this. Let's have a look.
But I think the juxtaposition of that and the woman dancing in the shoe with the money flying at her, the juxtaposition of that versus some of the things that we've canceled recently, some of the things we have said are too dangerous.
Yeah, but none of that's been canceled. He's talking about Dr. Seuss books, which weren't canceled. They were literally just 6 of the 70-year-old books that were racist. The publishers stopped publishing. And then he's going to bring up Mr. Potato Head, changing their branding to just Potato Head, which they're lying. That literally has nothing to do with being gender neutral. Nothing to do with that. They're literally just changing their branding. They weren't canceled in any fucking way whatsoever. Has nothing to do with transgender people, has nothing to do with non-binary people. Simply a capitalistic company changing their branding because they chose to do so. But he's going to make you think, oh my God, they canceled all that shit. It's the decline of our society.
To continue, while we're talking about WAP, which stands for wet ass pussy, and she's got the bucket and the whole thing. Now, again, I'm not saying that shouldn't be allowed. She's got a wet pussy. What are you going to do about it?
She's going to do? Got a wet pussy.
So fine. But the strange way we deal with cancel culture, the strange way that the mainstream version of everything that we get is so out of whack with reality. So we took out Mr. Potato Head because he was a Mr.
No, we didn't. That had nothing to do with it. They literally just changed their branding. It had nothing to do with taking him out because he was a Mr.
And now he's just Potato Head. He's got no gender, even though really his gender was only decided whether you put the mustache on him, although I'm pretty sure girls can have mustaches now. And the point is that we get rid of all of these things, and then we say, oh, but the woman with the leaking pussy and the bucket and the mop and the whole thing and the girl dancing in the shoe, that's all okay.
It is okay. It's totally okay. It's also okay for them to change the branding for Mr. Potato Head. None of this fucking matters. God damn it, the culture war is so fucking stupid. And cancel culture is good, actually, when they do it, folks. Total fucking double standard here. Of course, they don't call it cancel culture when they do it.
So that was actually an interesting statement. What do you think about that?
I think it's actually a very important point. I don't think that the central feature of cancel culture and PC and political correctness, I don't think it's a battle between free speech and censorship so much as it's a battle between competing sets of standards. So, of course, we all think that there should be accountability. You know, in the 1950s, if you openly espoused communism, you would be canceled in Hollywood or in the federal government, and I think that's perfectly right and just.
No, it wasn't. That was actually very bad. It was the Red Scare. It was a horrible thing that happened.
The question here is, what are people being canceled for? This host of The Bachelor, I, like you, can't say that I've seen every single episode of that show, but what this host got canceled for was saying that maybe we should have grace, understanding, and compassion for things that people did years ago, like going to a party in college. That's all.
That's not what he said. He was making the point that people shouldn't be upset by the racist shit the contestant did, and the way he phrased it was insulting, incredibly fucking insulting. And he decided to step aside from the show for, I guess, a couple seasons on his own. So anyway, stupid. And next up on the chat box, they trying so hard to get Gen X to get involved in this, but we remember you fucking boomers canceled everything for us. Like I said, canceled 2 Live Crew, canceled Murphy Brown, canceled every fucking thing. Even Teletubbies canceled because Tinkwiggy was gay. But now they want our help to fight cancel culture, folks.
Up ahead, plus cancel culture is spreading like wildfire. There is now a call for Generation X, that is X, to lead the charge to save America from the social media mob. Can they do it?
We could, but we're not gonna. We look right at you and we say, no, fuck y'all. Because what you're calling cancel culture is good, actually. It's always existed, what you're calling cancel culture. It's simply you being held accountable for your fucking actions. And now because of social media, we actually have power. The little people can actually make their voices known to every fucking body. It used to be where only the powerful could get their voices out there. They're the ones that get articles. They're the ones that got to own the newspapers. They're the ones that got to be on the TV. But now everybody can make their voice known, and the powerful hate that shit. And folks, you know what would make tax payers pay more money? The super rich pay more money? If we actually lower taxes, that's what we really need to do. If we lower taxes, then they would pay more in taxes. Doesn't that make sense?
The way you get upper income people to pay more in taxes is lower their tax rate. Not only will they have investment incentives, they will also have no tax avoidance. Fair share.
Yeah, just lower taxes and they'll pay more in taxes, folks. Just logic right there. Isn't that logic, says the rich asshole? Nah, man, tax them more. We need a wealth tax. Over a certain amount of money, 99% tax, in my opinion. Fuck that noise. And last up on Chud Watch, depressing. This is my state. This is what we are in this state. This is what we've elected. Taint Reeves. Mississippi governor rejects Medicaid expansion for working class constituents. This is how little they care about the poor in this country, in the state. During the pandemic, Mississippi has had the highest COVID-19 death rate of any state outside the Northeast. We've had 1 out of every 500 people die. On Friday, the state's Republican governor, Tate Reeves, said he remained committed to denying access to Medicaid for constituents near the poverty line, even though expanding eligibility would make money for Mississippi as a result of the new stimulus bill. Literally turning down government money and letting us to die because they're so fucking evil, they don't give a shit. It's just, I wish I could run for governor. I know I can never be elected because my past would come back to haunt me. The things I said would be thrown back in my face, and rightfully so. But God damn it. Embarrassing. Won't Mississippi ever get tired of being an embarrassment? Being ridiculed and mocked, rightfully so, by the rest of the country? It doesn't appear so. And that's my Chud Watch for tonight. We got a huge religious bullshit section coming up. Let me stop and read the chats. Super Chats! Jason Morn, $5. I really hope Americans are smart enough to see that the cancel culture thing is BS talking point to distract people. Well, it was PC culture first, and then that they ran that to the ground. And now cancel culture is another term that they run into a ground. And then it'll be something else that means exactly the same thing next. Woke school, some other word they'll use. But they're going to continue using this over and over again because it's really one of the only tools they had to fearmonger over. Eventually, spreading trans panic will fall out of fashion. Eventually, it'll be like homophobia, where that's no longer cool to do, no longer cool to scare people in the same way it used to be with gay people. And before that, they would scare people with black folks. That fell out of fashion, too. Eventually, the trans panic will fall out of fashion, but this will always be their go-to in the culture war. They'll just change the terms on it. Justin Joseph, 999, Christian conservatives said the same thing about Elvis swiveling his hips. Yep, they sure did. Leading our children astray. They're going to have sex everywhere. In the 50s, to the point where Ed Sullivan couldn't show him from the waist down on TV. They never changed. Yep, same playbook forever. They're terrified of sex, folks. To the point they're literally murdering people over it. This stupid fucking guilt. And E says, hey, Jordan, ain't karma a bitch? That crappy diet is making it worse, too. What a putz. I know, right? But, like, I guess he's still making tons of money, so he ain't got to worry about it. I guess he feels like he's justified in doing so because people still kiss his ass continuously. Verum Terra, YouTube unsubscribed me at some point. Not surprised. I'm back. Good to have you back. And I guess I will consider carefully becoming a patron. I do that shit for no one. Hey, I appreciate it. Like, it all adds up. It all really helps out. And you get some content for you heroes of my patrons. So, hope to see you there soon. And E says, religious bully shit. It's time for religious bullshit. Almost time, E. Thank you for the $50. Very generous, E. Hero of the show. It's been a little light tonight, so thank you for helping make it up, E. You rock. And Skinny Stock says, I masturbate so much I blistered my pee-pee. Is that okay? Opinions? Yeah, it's fine. Like, I have masturbated so much on several occasions where I don't know what happened. I don't know if like a blood vessel busted in my penis or something, but it like swole up to like this big. And it's not only not that big, I just got to admit it's not that big. Huge, giant, swollen up penis. On several occasions, I masturbated so much that the head turned purple one time. I was using my little vibrator thing. I won't show you what it. And yeah, the head turned purple. I was like, that's not good. My dick's rotting off from too much masturbation. But it's fine. We are self-healing robots. Your body will just repair itself if you leave it alone for long enough. So yeah, just beat it all you want. It'll work itself out. It's it'll bounce back. Sherlock, here's some stimmy money. Hope the fur babies are happy. Don't let that crap get you down. I won't. I appreciate it. I'll take all your stimmy money. Thank you, Sherlock. And Pennsylvania, right, so get Misty one that won't cause any issues. Right, so get you're talking about a spray bottle. Yeah, I probably should. I will take your advice, appreciate it. And all right, anything else pop up? Oh yeah, Serenity Rose, what's up, Serenity Rose? How you doing tonight? I'm an hour late, no forgiveness. I thought it was 2 a.m. UK time. Isn't it? I thought it was 2 a.m. UK time too, but I thought it was 1 a.m. And then somebody told me it's actually 2 a.m. over there. So I don't know. It's 8 p.m. Central, whatever that is over there. I'm bad at time zones. I'm sorry. I was educated in Mississippi and I'm an idiot. So, but I'm glad you're here. Here's my money for your forgiveness. I forgive you. You're absolved. And Shio267. Conservative content feels like South Park shit. I know, right? It's just like a parody. And it's so dated and old fashioned. It's like they never evolve. It's ridiculous. All right. You guys ready for some religious bullshit? Got an hour. We'll see how much of this religious bullshit we can cover in an hour. So if you know the song, sing it. It's To the Tomb of Awesome God. And I don't have my phone. Oh, here we go. Religious bullshit. Religious religious bullshit. Religious bully shit. It's time for religious bullshit. It's time for religious bullshit. And we got like 2 weeks, or 3 almost, worth of religious bullshit tonight to cover. And folks, what's going on in the evangelical community is actually pretty fascinating. I've been covering this. I've been chronicling it because somebody has to chronicle this shit. But I've literally never seen anything like this in my 46 years on this planet, being a Christian, covering this. I've never seen them just deny reality in the way they have now. Now, I know why they're doing it. All these prophets, they've all gotten on the exact same page, except for one. We're going to show you the one guy who decided to tell the truth has been run out of business, because that's what happens to you. Christians literally want to be lied to. And so all these prophets are on the same page now by declaring that Trump actually is the president still. He's the president in heaven, and he's also the president on earth still, because the military is in control, y'all, and just believe us. We told you he was going to be reelected, and he wasn't, but we can't, admit that we don't actually talk to God, because then you wouldn't pay us anymore. So we just got to double down, triple down on it, and pretend that we were actually correct the entire time, and Trump actually is the president. I reject your reality and substitute my own. So this is everybody's crazy pink-haired grandma, Kat Kerr. Got a few videos of her insisting, y'all, Trump really is the president. Believe me.
Just because the civil courts wouldn't hear the cases doesn't mean justice is not coming. And I can promise you, Trump knows all of this. He's not been lazy. He's been very busy behind the scenes. So are many other smart and intel, smart people around the world that know what is right and what is not right. And they don't need any more evidence than they have to take all of them to prison or be shot for treason.
Amen.
I'm speaking truth.
Uh-huh.
Not making it up.
I know, I'm not making it up. You know she's not making it up because she says, I'm not making it up. They already have all the evidence. They're going to kill everybody. Amen. Praise God, y'all. Murdering folks is amazing, and more of her. Trust me, folks, she has insiders that tell her all the top secret shit. She knows. Obviously, if you had top secret clearance, you would tell her first. So all the indictments have already come down. They're getting ready to arrest everybody, folks. Believe her.
I know in indictments that have already been typed, the terms are this: treason, insurrection, conspiracy to overthrow the country of America, conspiracy to overthrow the presidency, conspiracy to collude and lie with the elections. So those are the indictments. They're very severe. Some are federal offenses, and the treason actually is a very, very serious, that anyone would conspire to, and I think the arrest that was just made in Italy, I will tell you it was in Italy where it was made, because it's already leaking out places.
Is it?
I think that was for conspiracy to overthrow the results of the election. So it is very serious. And I will say this, that landslide that God promised on November the 4th, he didn't give any dates. He just said it would happen. And there are people out there saying, boy, the cascading of the landslide is actually beginning to start.
No, it's not. No one is saying that except for you. She's the one that prophesied there'll be a landslide. And so obviously she can't admit that she's just a con man, a con woman, a piece of shit that lied to you. So she got to pretend like it's happening, folks. It's all happening. And here she is doing her best Gandalf impersonation. She got her staff and she gonna cast magic and shit because apparently she's a witch or something.
Right now, I declare and I call forth our president to take his rightful place. Trump, to come forth right now, step into your destiny that God gave you, called you, appointed you, and anointed you for this time to declare over America, to help America. This is his choice, and we call you forth right now in the name of Jesus Christ, who is with you, who will always be with you. The people are with you. The prophets of God are with you. The military is with you. So come forth, step into your destiny now, saith the Lord.
Saith the Lord! Now, I guess Trump shall pass, according to Grandma Gandalf here. And just so crazy. They think they have magical powers, folks. No telling how much money she makes from this kind of bullshit. And she ain't the only one, folks. Like I said, they're all on the same page together. They're all circling their wagons, pretending that their prophecies were true all along, and you should believe them over your own eyes. Here's everybody's favorite meth prophet, Robin Bullock. Nice hair, dude.
He is the president.
He's not.
And no matter what happens, he's the president.
He isn't.
He's supposed to walk back in that office.
He won't.
So call him back.
Mm-hmm.
Call him back.
Okay.
Call him back. Once he knows the prophets are calling, he'll come.
Yeah, folks. Once he knows us prophets are calling, he'll come and be the president again somehow. Like he wouldn't have done that already if he could have. He literally did everything he could to overthrow our democracy and install himself as a dictator. Okay? But yeah, they actually think they have magical power. I know they don't think this. I know they're just con men. But they're actually pretending like there are some kind of wizards that have magical powers that they can cast spells and just bring him back to the White House.
Don't mess with us, Satan. Don't mess with us corrupt political regimes. Don't mess with God's people like that, because I'm going to tell you something. If you mess with us, we'll call him back for 3 terms. Don't mess with us.
Do it. Why haven't you done it then?
You've never seen the power of God in action before.
Why not? Why haven't you shown it to us if you have these powers? What you waiting on, motherfucker? Smoke another meth rock, dipshit, and one more from this brainiac before the meth wears off.
The Lord spoke to me this morning,
I'm
as a
sure
matter
he did.
of fact. And this is what he said to me. He said, and it was something that he began this way. He said, let me see if I can...
Get your shit together, dude.
Let me see if I can make out my writing. When I get to writing under the anointing, I write quick. And sometimes I write in the dark.
Oh, well, you should do that.
This is what he said. He said, Joe Biden is not just deceiving America. This thing is beyond playing now. And then I wrote down, I don't know how much he really knows, but he has become dangerous to America now. And this isn't funny anymore. This is what I heard in the spirit.
Yeah, it was funny to God at first. God was like, I want Trump to be president, but Biden is stealing it, and it's hilarious. I'm laughing, y'all. I'm laughing. And now he's like, hey, this isn't funny anymore. I'm pissed. You know, you would think if he was all powerful, he could just do something about it. Wouldn't have to be all pissy in heaven and shit. And next up, here's self-proclaimed prophet Johnny Inlaw declaring that Trump's still the president, y'all. Trump's still the president.
I think we have 2 presidents. Essentially, one's over the corporation, one's over the republic. One has the essential machinery of the economy.
I already showed you guys this video last time, but this is a new video. He's just saying the same shit. So I'm gonna skip that since you've already seen him say basically the same shit before. But they're all saying basically the same shit because they're all on the same fucking page. Here he is again saying something similar. Right Wing Watch, go.
President Trump is the president has been ordained, nominated by the Lord, prophesied all the way from King Clement's days, and over 1,000 prophets still hang on to around the world, prophetic voices, whether known or not known, that he's in. And then the voting, anybody who's seen the actual information, why it's hidden, why you can't see, the normal public cannot see the information, why you cannot be exposed to the actual voting feedback, and it gets blocked even by the Supreme Court, is because it'll show you that he won over 70% of the vote and 49 of the 50 states. So he won. He is sanctioned in heaven.
49 of the 50 states. He won California and New York, folks, because logic.
On earth, and he's here, but we have somebody else. So back to David's day, he didn't just, Saul died and then David's in. It didn't happen that way. And David will be the top of what President Trump is called to be, we'll see, even in his second term. But it says that Abner, who was captain of Saul's host, he brought in Saul's son, Ishbosheth. And his name means man of shame. And Ishbosheth became the king for 2 years. He was the king right there. And so it looked like the prophet Samuel was wrong. David was only accepted as king by Judah. Guess who's the only ones in the body of Christ accepting President Trump is king right now, the tribe of Judah. If you can go in the spirit, if you can see what's in heaven, who's sitting in the throne, go up and look at the presidency seat in heaven, see who's there. It ain't Biden, it's Trump.
There's a presidency seat in heaven? It doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't Jesus be the president of heaven? Why would Trump be the president of heaven? He's not even dead. Hilarious. And next up, here's a Prophet Jeff Jensen telling all y'all that the military is in control of this country, y'all. Don't you know it? Don't you see the military everywhere running things? Even though Biden is continuously passing laws and stimulus bills and whatnot. It's the military, yo.
He stepped aside. He never conceded. And the last defense is military. So the military is in control right now.
They're not.
And they've already made their determination. And now it's about execution. Now it's about returning civil power after the we the people factor. The rightly duly elected president from this past election comes forward and they expose the corruption. There will be civil power restored to the United States, and that president will be Donald J. Trump. Watch what the Lord does, but I believe that April. I would be surprised if things don't happen by the end of April. Now, I'm talking the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, which I believe are key dates.
So when those days come and go, he'll have another date. Oh, God told me it's this date now. Oh, I misheard God. He told me this date. They always kick the can down the road. So ridiculous. But like I said, they have to say this, folks. They have to keep this canard up. Because if they don't, their church will completely abandon them. I'll show you in a second an example of this. One dude actually decided to tell the truth, and he's the only one that no longer has a congregation. But here's Prophet Hank Kernum says that even though the Bible commands believers to pray, he ain't gonna pray for no Joe Biden. Oops, no audio. Come on, let's try one more time.
Pray for those that are in authority. But here's the thing, he's not in authority because how he got there was done through what our Constitution said is treason.
But regardless, even if that was true, he's still in authority. He's still the one passing all the laws and shit. What are you talking about? And here's Rick Joyner trying to stir up fear and hatred to cause a civil war, folks. They want us to murder each other. They're champing at the bit for it. Watch this asshole.
It will be a civil war. And, you know, it's going to be, I think, increasingly worse with the increasing time it takes for Americans to stand up and push back against this evil that has been taking over our land. You know, there's a time for peace and a time for war. It says in Ecclesiastes, well, we're not headed towards peace right now. We're headed towards conflict and war. And we need to prepare for it. We need to put out the word. People need to be prepared. It will be a civil war.
Absolutely trying to stir it up, folks. They want us to be in a civil war. He literally said that we shouldn't pray for it not to be a civil war. We should just prepare for it. It's inevitable. And, here's a Family Research Council President Tony Perkins. Let's see what he has to say about Biden's agenda.
These are challenging times. I am not going to put any kind of spin on it. The policies that are coming out of this administration are literally from the pit of hell. I believe America is in serious trouble. We are literally shaking our fist in the face of God and challenging God. If you're really God, you do something.
Yeah, bring it, motherfucker.
And he is God.
No, he ain't.
And he will do something.
Where you at? Do it.
Right. And that's why I believe it is incumbent upon the church, followers of Jesus Christ, to cry out for God's mercy and a move of his spirit like we've never seen before.
Yeah. Beg him not to torture and murder you all. You're all loving God. Why would you worship a monster like that? Holy shit, folks. And next up on the religious bullshit. Oh, yeah. Let's never forget, folks, what they said when Trump was president. It's a totally different ball game now, but this is what they said when Trump was president.
People may not like his mannerisms. They may not like the way they do him, that he does things. They may question his motives. But here's the reality. He sits in the seat of the President of the United States of America. And because of that, he should never be reviled. He should never be spoken evil of. He should never be criticized. People may not.
Yeah, he should never be criticized, folks. He's the president. You can't criticize the president because God put him there. It's funny how that changed all of a sudden. Biden got to be president, isn't it? And also, it doesn't matter if Biden's president or not. That's bullshit. You absolutely can criticize fucking anybody. But like, this is the cult-like mentality they have. Trump could do no wrong. And like I said, folks, they have to lie. They have to keep this lie up that Trump is the president or that he's going to become the president any second now, because if they actually tell the truth, they actually say, oops, well, maybe I heard God wrong. Maybe I made a mistake. This is what happens to them. Trump prophet Jeremiah Johnson ends ministry saying we need to humble ourselves. This is one guy who actually came out and said, hey, I was wrong. I prophesied that Trump was going to win, and he didn't win. So obviously I heard God wrong, or I made a mistake or something, and he lost his church over it, folks. He's the only one that didn't circle the wagons and say exactly what all these prophets are saying, and he lost his church over it, because Christians want to be lied to. They don't want you to tell them the truth. They don't want you to be honest or humble. Lying to them makes them feel good, and they will reward you for it. And if you try to tell them the truth whatsoever, they will punish you for it. So, although, like, you know, he's a piece of shit anyway. And I don't feel sorry for you. You got what you deserve by being a fake con man. But at the same time, it's fascinating to see the one guy who actually tried to do a little bit of the right thing lose his church over it. And Pat Robertson is still around, folks. And Schmeigel impersonator Pat Robertson is declaring that Joe Biden has dementia. This guy accusing somebody else of having dementia. Because, of course.
Without question, he is intellectually impaired. He's got senile dementia, and we have him as our president. So you ask yourself who...
Oh, this thing gets better, folks. So he's about to claim that we have two women running the country right now, and this is God's punishment towards us. Women running us is punishment from God. Misogyny is just baked into Christianity. Always has been, always will be.
We have him as our president. So you ask yourself, who's running the show? Now, I want to show you a scripture from the book of Isaiah, as I think is important. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Now, let's start with children are your oppressors. Who's trying to have the negative impact on our nation? Who has led these riots? Well, mostly they're kids.
No, they're not. What are you talking about? I assume he's talking about Antifa and BLM. They're not kids. They're like mostly in their 20s, I would think. Definitely not children, though. Stretch.
They're teenagers and young men and women that are causing the problem. Children are your oppressors. Now, who is in charge? There are two women who are in charge. One in charge of the White House is Kamala Harris. The one in charge of the Congress is Nancy Pelosi. They are the ones that are running this government right now. Exactly what the Bible said.
Yeah, we've been punished by women. God damn it, America. Better get your shit together or women are going to rule us. Who gives a shit? Good. About time some women had some power. But, it terrifies these old boomer motherfuckers. He's probably older than boomer. Men have to actually share power with women. It's terrifying to Christianity. And next up, they're literally just coming right out and saying it, folks. This guy wants to make it harder to vote because he's trying to open up a path for Trump to be president again. And they know that if lots of people are allowed to vote, he will lose again, because the more people that vote, the worse Republicans do. So let's listen to him, and then we'll look into his background, because he's a shady motherfucker.
John the Baptist, the Bible said that he was the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare for the way of the Lord. In other words, the Lord was soon to come, and John's job was to prepare the way for his coming. Well, ladies and gentlemen, much like John the Baptist, we must prepare the way to make straight the crooked paths in America in our election system. We must prepare for the return of Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's talking about making it harder to vote to prepare a way for Trump to be president again. And let's look into this guy a little bit, huh? Almost like he's a shameless con man. Insurance agent faces cease and desist orders. Baton Rouge fraud investigators with the Louisiana Department of Insurance issued cease and desist orders and fine notices to Baton Rouge insurance agents Monday. John Shane Vaughn, also known as Aiden Bryce Adams, 37, was served 2 cease and desist orders and 2 $50,000 fine notices. Vaughn is accused of insurance fraud, bank fraud, issuing worthless checks, filing false public records, felony theft, and identity theft. He allegedly stole Adams' identity and filed public documents by submitting a fraudulent pre-licensing certificate and a fraudulent insurance producer application with the Department of Insurance. According to investigators, Vaughn presented a fake driver's license and social security number to get an agent appointment with a life insurance company. They said he obtained an annuity policy by writing a worthless check for $212,000 and misappropriated fraudulently obtained premiums intentionally. Yep. They're all con men, they're all crooks, they're all criminals. And that's exactly who Christianity rewards over and over again because they want to be lied to. So obviously liars are the one that's going to go into that type of ministry, right? And you guys ever seen this woman? They call her the shaken head prophet. She gets on stage and she suddenly starts channeling God and shaking her head and shit. Let's have a look at this fake ass bullshit.
I was in the room.
And they're cheering for, yay! Do the thing! Do your
the Holy Spirit first
gimmick.
Fell on David Roos like that. God began to talk to us about a move of the Spirit that would come. But when we were in our 20s, he said that the greatest move that we would ever see would come upon the children behind us.
So anyway, she literally makes a living by doing this obvious performance on stage where she's channeling God. Well, apparently her son, not a big fan of hers, and did an interview on a podcast and had this to say.
Does Stacy ever do this?
No, that's the thing. She never just drives the car and breaks into prophecy. Never happened once while she was making dinner.
Like
Only in front of thousands of people does this ever happen.
I was going to say, this could be a fucking liability, dude.
In fact, just when I was talking to Tina Marie today, I said, it actually the thought struck me. It was like, I've actually never seen her prophesy not at church. Not once has God ever come to talk to her.
Isn't that weird?
It is pretty weird, isn't it? Wouldn't you notice, like...
Maybe she's got a God trigger for when she enters one of his holy buildings. He just gives her a little zip of the Lord.
Clearly.
Real quick. A little blast of the Lord.
I have to, clearly she's like, okay, I got to get into prophecy mode.
Like that.
I have to get a character. I'm an actor, it's a performance, but yeah, he outed her. Good on you. I guess he's an atheist and not a fan of his mom, and I don't blame you. I wouldn't be either. I'd be embarrassed with that fake shit. And folks, did you know that people that want trans rights are directly from the devil? Because of course we are. More from Right Wing Watch. Do it. Do the thing.
This is something that's very politically incorrect and will be, a lot of people will find this to be upsetting, but I tell you, the things that are happening in our nation, it is a doctrine of the devil. It's not just people with a different opinion. It's not just some people have a different take on things. It is literally doctrines of the devil. They are taking children as young as 4 and 5 years old and telling them that you were born in the wrong body. You're actually a woman in a man's body or a man in a woman's body. And they are surgically altering them and giving them hormone blockers.
They're literally not. Why would you give puberty blockers to someone who's not going through puberty? You don't go through puberty at 4 years old. What are you talking about? But trans panic, it's all they have, folks.
And stuff. I'm telling you, this is not just a different opinion, somebody that has a little different way of looking at things. It is a doctrine of demons. It is demonic. And the people who are doing it are being influenced and controlled by the devil.
Yummy.
These are doctrines of demons. that a man can just choose to be a woman. He can choose to go into a woman's restroom because he feels like a woman today. That is nothing but an excuse for perverts.
That's not how that works at all.
It's wrong. It is a doctrine of devils. And I know a lot of people can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm not saying anything that the Word of God isn't saying.
I got no problem believing you're saying it.
It is demonic, and it is a doctrine of the devil. Now, I will admit this. There are some people who are being influenced by just going with the crowd. They are just following the flow, and they may not be demon-possessed, and they may not be themselves being totally controlled by the devil, but it is a doctrine of the devil. They are following that. But I think that a lot of the people who are in the leadership of this, they know exactly what they're doing.
I totally know what I'm doing, folks. I am totally demon-possessed all the time. I'm constantly sucking demon dick. Demon jizz all down my throat, on my chin. So I got this scratch on my head right here from sucking the demon dick. It's sharp and pointy, some of it. So, yeah, it's fun, though. It's fun, though. I recommend it highly. Recommend all the demon dicks. And next up, guys, remember Saitin Brogan Kate, however you pronounce his name? Guys, remember like, I did a video with him one time where we're out at the first ever atheist monument on public grounds out in Florida. I flew out there, and he was there standing up, threatening people with eternal torture if they did not join his cult. And I got up in his face and screamed at him, called him a Christian terrorist, which he is. Well, apparently he has had to leave his ministry, citing moral failure. Oh, no, not you. You were such a godly man, right? You were so pious. How could this have possibly happened to you? And so we didn't know what he did at first, but then apparently they said that he took advantage of a vulnerable woman. Oh, no. Using his position of power and authority to, I guess, prey on some kind of vulnerable woman. So, yeah. Following admissions by Saitin Bruin Kate of fornication with a vulnerable woman and following a formal complaint with evidence by the woman concerning the particular admission given by Sai, the session has begun a full and thorough investigation. So he has been suspended from all his privileges without limit of time while the church judicial process is followed. So thoughts and prayers, Satan. His name looks like Satan. Saitin, too close to Satan for me. I'm just going to call him Satan. But I guess that's an insult to Satan. I guess Satan's pretty cool, so I shouldn't call him that. But what a dick. Dude's a complete fucking dick. I've met him. He's creepy as shit. He's like some guy's pedophile uncle. He just gives you the fucking heebie-jeebies when you're around him. And, did you guys see this video where this, I don't want to body shame, but a guy who's not in incredibly good shape, not what you would call an alpha specimen, got up on stage and told women they had to lose weight if they want to be good wives. Let's have a look.
And ladies, here's the thing you need to know about men. Don't give him a reason to be like this distracted boyfriend. You hear me? Don't give him a reason to be looking around. Hello? So, okay. Why is it so many times that women, after they get married, let themselves go? Why is it? Why do they do that? Now look, I'm not saying every woman can be the epic trophy wife of all time, like Melania Trump. I'm not saying that at all. Now, most women can't be trophy wives, but you know, like her, maybe you're a participation trophy. I don't know, but all I can say is not everybody looks like that. Amen. Not everybody looks like that. But you don't need to look like a butch either. But you say, how can I do that? Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm so glad you asked that question because you're in my office, you and your husband, and we're talking about your marriage, and you've asked me this question about what can I do about that. All right, if you were sitting in my office, here's the first thing I'd say to you, and boy, I hate to say that. This is why I don't do marital counseling anymore, and that is weight control. So how important is this? Let me tell you something. I have a friend. He has put a divorce weight on his wife. That's how important this is. You know, makeup. Makeup is a good thing. You know, one little boy said to the other boy, why do girls wear makeup and perfume? He said, because they're ugly and they stink. You don't want to be ugly and stink. Scientists have discovered, by the way, a food that diminishes a woman's sex drive. It's called wedding cake. Yeah.
Yeah, let's throw it out the pot, called the kettle black. What in the fuck, dude? Might want to buy a mirror or something? Just me, but yeah, he's suspended. I think he got fired, yeah. Leave of absence! After that went viral, folks. Even his own church was embarrassed of him. So, thoughts and prayers on your job hunts, dude. Maybe want to do a little exercise. In the meantime, and here's one from the Jim Baker Show, which apparently is a thing that still exists. This is Pastor Robert Jeffries. And folks, I actually agree with him a little bit here. If what he's saying is true, I agree with him.
We're also going to work in heaven. Now, that may even sound more like hell to some
yes!
people.
Apparently we have jobs in heaven. No! I still got to work after I die? Fuck that bullshit. I can't even get away from work in death? Well, fuck Jesus.
We're going to work in heaven. Now, that may even sound more like hell to some people, working in heaven. But remember, God created us to be workers. Work was a gift from God before the fall of Adam and Eve. God meant for us to find fulfillment in our work. He's a worker. He created us to be workers. But in heaven, the new heaven and the new earth, all of the things that drain the joy out of our work, bodies that grow tired, strained relationships, government regulations, all those things will be removed, and we're going to enjoy work like God intended us to enjoy.
It's going to take away being tired, so we can just work endlessly for God forever and ever. And, even though he could just blink and have everything done instantly, we don't actually have to work because he's magical. He's still going to make us work anyway, because why not? Guess we have to have something to do in heaven, so why not just do meaningless tasks for the rest of eternity that don't need to be done? Just makes sense to me. And this pastor is doing damage control because his silly-ass daughter-in-law got on video and said some racist shit. Let's have a look.
Where everybody is saying, oh my God, Breonna Taylor. Oh my God, that guy with the big nose. I don't remember his name. But it's just like stuff that is like going on in the world that's important, but it shouldn't be highlighted on Sunday mornings here. Like that is, after all the riots and stuff, we had to do that panel where we brought black families up and had them talk and like had a whole Sunday dedicated to black people. The 21st is going to be dedicated to Black History Month, which is fine, but it's like, it's a lot. And I don't even post that much about baptism. Why am I going to post that much about black people? Like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm not, like, racist. I know I'm not racist. But having the black people on our staff that have milked being black and Black Lives Matter, and we need to put black people on stage, and we need to acknowledge black people, and we need Martin Luther King Day off because we're black, and if you get Columbus Day off, then like just all of that, it's like, I'm not racist, but when you take advantage of being black because you're the only black staff member or the first black staff member, it just drives me insane because our church is 99% white. So if I post 3 times this week about Black History Month, which is more than I post about anything, people are going to be so annoyed. Like, nobody freaking cares.
Yeah, I'm not racist, but the blacks always taking advantage of being black. So, yeah, it didn't go over too well. Let me see. It says, a pastor's doing damage control after his daughter-in-law's wildly racist rant. Randy and Kelly Aris are the senior pastors at Cross Mountain Church in San Antonio, Texas. They have 3 sons, one of them who is married this incredible winter. And that daughter-in-law is Ashley Marie Aries. Posted a video on social media recently denouncing the church for focusing so damn much on black people, social justice, and racial inequality. So, yeah. Since the video went up, the Aries had been in damage control mode. Last week, they apologized on behalf of their family. Though, to be fair, there's no reason to think they deserve the blame for what she said. Unless you count their son's taste in women, which I'm certainly calling into question. I'm also wondering how many of the family members knew about her beliefs before last week, and either ignored them, accepted them, or just assumed she'd never say this out loud. Yeah, they probably thought that she would never say it out loud. So anyway, he came out and he said, I am addressing specifics with my family. Of course, I do not condone or approve of all of their actions and words, but I can love them in the same way Jesus loves me, even with all of my faults, and I can lead them towards understanding, reconciliation, and change. So, yeah. Not invited to Christmas anymore. might want to disassociate. Might want to think about a divorce if that's something your church allows you to do, because she racist. She really, really racist, y'all. And speaking of racist, folks, Christian dipshit Dave Dobbelmeyer, he ain't racist, but he wants the option to be racist if he wants to be, folks. Why can't he be racist if he wants?
I'm not a racist, but am I allowed to be? I don't hate blacks, but am I allowed to? Right? You with me, folks?
No, I'm not.
And that's what's going on. That's what the cancel culture does. The government, the society, whoever, they make a set of values, and if you don't agree with a set of values, they ban you on Facebook. They don't give you the right to free discussion, free speech. They don't have. If I wanted to say I was a racist, and I want to be a racist, they can't come along and say, you're not allowed to be a racist. We're not going to listen to you.
They can.
That's the cancel culture.
They can. They can say you're not allowed to post racist stuff on our platform. That's what having a private platform is all about. It has nothing to do with free speech. Free speech is a government telling you what you can and can't say. It has nothing to do with private companies. But he's so bad, he wants to say the N-word on Facebook. Why can't I say the N-word? And let's take another look at his claim that he's not racist, folks.
Today, interracial marriage would be considered honorable, when 40 years ago, it would have been considered a disgrace. Now, is it a disgrace or is it honorable? And has the mixing of culture been good for America or has it been bad? Is America stronger today than we were 40 years ago, or are we weaker today? And it could be, are we weaker today because multiculturalism is spiritual AIDS and has brought an infection into what was the once great Christian American culture.
Yeah, that sounds pretty racist, dude. You might want to quit denying you're racist, because you're racist. And I know you're so upset you can't openly be racist on social media anymore, but that's actually a good thing, in my opinion. And speaking of pieces of shit, last week everybody's pissed off at the Vatican because they came out against gay marriage again, of course. 2021, but they're still stuck in the 1400s. Vatican bars gay union blessing, says God can't bless sin. The Vatican's Orthodoxy office issued a formal response to a question about whether Catholic clergy can bless gay unions. Spoiler alert, nah, they can't. Because we can't accept your form of love, folks. I mean, sure, our God is all loving, but not that type of love. No thanks. The answer contained a two-page explanation published in 7 languages and approved by Pope Francis. Says, nope, can't bless your love. But what would you expect? One of the most evil cults in the history of mankind. Bunch of fucking pedophiles. Obviously, gay people are the problem. And next up, Arkansas lawmakers just passed a law that says healthcare workers can deny service to gays and lesbians, and I assume transgender people too. Yesterday, the Republican-run Arkansas Senate passed a bill, SB 289, that would allow all healthcare workers to deny service to people if providing it violates their conscience. The bill previously passed in the state house, so this only awaits the signature of Governor Asa Hutchinson. They may well ban the Hippocratic Oath since do no harm no longer applies. So yeah, folks, that's what it's all about. They're going to deny you health care because you're gay or because you're trans. Religion is just a goddamn cancer in this fucking country. That's one of the good things about all these prophets, these false prophets that are making a fool out of themselves by denying reality. Yeah, they're making a lot of money for themselves for doing that. Yeah, they still got a lot of followers. But man, people are flooding away from them in droves because they're making it so obvious what a sham religion is. And shit like this also is not helping. Hopefully this will lead to the demise of Christianity for good. But in the meantime, if you're a gay and lesbian in Arkansas, might not want to get sick, I guess. Because fuck everything about this goddamn trash-ass country. And last up on religious bullshit. This woman, apparently this happened to her twice, where she was on a plane with Orthodox Jews, and they made her move because they're so ridiculous. They can't be around women. I guess they're so scared of women. I can't be in your presence. Melanie Wolfson, has been traveling from her home in Tel Aviv, Israel, to the UK on 2 separate occasions when these incidents occurred. The first occasion in November 2019, she had paid for an aisle seat and found 2 men in the window and middle seats. She says one of them climbed over the seat to avoid physical contact with her. They're such dorks, goddammit. He then asked for her male passenger to swap seats with her. In the end, Wolfson says she changed seats to stop any delays to the plane. A similar incident then happened in January 2020. However, this time she refused to change seats, and the 2 Orthodox men got a couple of female passengers to swap with him. Both times the crew allegedly did not intervene. So she sued and got about $20,000 to make an example out of them. And absolutely, you should make an example out of them. The airline said, "We take this very seriously, and in addition to compensating Mrs. Wolfson for her experience, EasyJet intends to implement additional crew training and renew our crew guidelines in order to prevent these incidents from happening in the future." Yeah, if these motherfuckers are too ridiculous to sit next to a woman, they can keep their goddamn ass at home, all right? Keep your ancient bullshit to your fucking self, dipshit. God, just jack off. Get over it. It's a woman. Why are you so scared of them? I mean, they are a little bit terrifying, but pretty fun, in a pretty fun way, to be honest with you, once you get into it. And that's my religious bullshit for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So let me read the chat. We're going to come back and do it with one palate cleanser and then end the show. Last chance to get in your super chat if you want to. K. Drew M says, "Missed you last week. Welcome back, Dusty, dude. Appreciate it. I was banned for 3 weeks, so vimeo.com/Cult of Dusty is where my band video is if you guys want to see that. And yo, shout out 267. Are conservatives extremely biased and want to believe they are right, or are they generally oblivious to their delusions and have serious mental issues? Like, I think a lot of these preachers know exactly what they're doing. I think they know they're con artists, but the people that follow them don't. They're just cult members. So it's kind of a mixed bag. Don't mess with Satan. He forgot what he was talking about. I know they're so stupid they can't barely form a sentence. Talking is hard, though. I will admit it, talking's fucking hard. But if God was on your side, you'd think you'd be better at it. And Joe LeBlaze, 999. Dusty, keep it up on Patreon. If TJDB can do it, you can do it better. I appreciate it. I guess I need more like Patreon-only content. Like I have, 215 patrons, and TJ has 6,000. So I'm not even close. And our numbers are really not that far off. I mean, I think they do maybe double at most the ratings I do. And they have, 20 times the patrons. So yeah, they're doing something right. They're definitely masters of making money over there at the Deep Fat Fried. And yo, shit, 267. Conservative content feel like support. You already read that. All right, cool. All right. Oh, E, one more E. Great show, Dusty. Love me some Dusty. I love me some E. E makes my life better. Hero. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything that I would like to be. You're the one made my wings, E. And one more. Let's do a palate cleanser. This is cool, folks. This is what the history of fireworks is going to be like. Instead of fireworks, it's going to be fucking drones and shit. Looks like magic. So these are hundreds of fucking drones in the sky doing weird-ass shapes. Cool as fuck. Watch hundreds of drones out the night sky. I better turn the audio off before I get fucking copyrighted. But look how cool this shit is, man. Technology's amazing. Got that shit down to a science. All coordinated together. I guess they have some kind of special software and shit that runs all that. Looks like UFOs and shit. The Firefly. The future's cool, motherfuckers. We already living in the future. Hell yeah. Look at that. That's badass. How bear in the air. Detroit-based company. What is that? Ooh. Cool as shit. They'll be mixing this with fireworks in the future. The two things combined together. Look at that crowd. Holy shit. That looks like a super spreader event there, doesn't it? But that is badass. Love it. Love me some future shit. And that's all my content for tonight, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Must be zero wind. Yep, they probably picked a special night with little wind, I guess. Maybe they're stable enough where they can resist the wind. They probably have AI and shit that figures it out. Love that. All right, let's move over here and read the chat before we end the show. Boom. That's very good. Yep, it's cool as fuck. That's awesome. Agreed it is. Cult of Destiny, when do you think you will leave YouTube for good? Like, YouTube is still the best format to do the show on, so I'm going to stay on YouTube as long as I possibly can. So I'll be leaving YouTube whenever they kick me off for good, which will probably eventually happen. We'll see. WAP, white Aryan potato heads. Got some weird ass pussy. They love Trump. Yep. They're all in the cult of Trump. It is kind of amazing how Trump was able to take over and become the cult figurehead for the evangelical community so fast like he did. Like he has complete goddamn control. It's sort of impressive, especially considering how fucking stupid he is. Only $20K, that is a bargain for the airline. Yeah. They got away cheap, in my opinion. Isn't that unconstitutional? Probably, but that doesn't stop conservatives from doing whatever the fuck they want to do. There's a different set of rules for them. They would hate Jesus. He was the OG dirty pinko commie. No, he healed everybody for free. That's socialism. Fucking commie Jesus. They definitely would hate his ass, especially because he's brown skin. Good show as always. Glad to have you back. It's good to be back. I sure appreciate it. Great show, Dusty. Hey, thank you, Grumpy Cat. What's up? What's up, Eric? Dusty, you should debate Vosh or TJ if they decided to do it. What we debate about? I've had Vosh on the show before. I think me and Vosh agree about most things. So I'm not really sure what we would debate about. But hey, he's welcome to come back on the show if he ever wants to again. That'd be cool. Got nothing against him. No problem with that. And TJ, I don't know what me and TJ would debate about, but Dusty, please say cringe. Did it. Why do you hate Twitch? I don't hate Twitch. I'm just locked out of it. I got to figure out how to get unlocked in it. The reason I don't use it much is because they don't archive your videos. Although somebody said that if you make it, what was it, a premiere or something, it archives. But can you do like unlimited premieres or whatever? Not a premiere. It's something else, another word for it. A feature. That's what it was called. They said if you make it a feature, it archives it. But can you do unlimited archives? Because I want my videos to stay forever. I don't want them to just disappear after like a month or whatever, like we do on Twitch. So, but I am going to actually have been playing several new games, and I'm thinking about sort of playing them on Twitch. One of them is Luck Be a Landlord, which has horrible fucking graphics. I'm getting into all these games now that are pixelated, have horrible graphics, but they're actually fun. And that was pretty fun. I pretty much mastered that already. And this new one I've been playing is called Loop Hero. The graphics are so bad, you can barely even tell what the fuck is going on. Yet it's still fun somehow. I don't know. But I've been playing that, trying to figure that out. So maybe I'll play that on Twitch eventually. Dusty is a master debater. Oh, master debater, that's for sure. I don't know about master debater. I'm an okay debater. It depends on the subject matter. It depends on how much I care about the debate. But I don't like debating because I get too nervous and I have to prepare. It takes a lot of time and shit, so I just don't really enjoy it. And I don't really find it that entertaining either. I find the debate bros boring to me. But like, people like it, so it's fine. Different show for different folks. It's just not for me. And False takes Marxist Leninists. You should talk to him, Hankin, about Marxism, Leninism. I mean, that's not my area of expertise. So I choose not to talk about things that I'm not really educated about. So that would be kind of pointless. I would debate TJ on his accoutrement. What does that mean? Why are all the... what does that word mean? Accoutrement? I'm not familiar with this word, Spanky Weasel. Oh. Equipment trapping, specifically a soldier's outfit? I don't know what that is, but sure, let's debate about that. He's a masturbator too. I'm definitely a masturbator, that's for sure. Play Broforce. The game is 8-bit style and super fun, super addictive. All right, I will check that out. Thank you for the recommendation. Chud watches on every episode. Yep, I constantly do Chud watch. There's so much Chud stuff to cover constantly. So I do that. I recommend you try The Swapper. It is a really deep game that has to do with the conscience and the such. All right. Thank you for the recommendations. I will try that out. All right, folks. I will be back on Monday for an all-new show. Hopefully some interesting stuff will happen this weekend. I'm sure Chuds will be doing their Chud-ass shit. Dusty, do you support mandatory vaccines? Depends on what you mean by mandatory. Like, I think it should be like for school and shit, yeah. And if you want to travel abroad, yeah. Otherwise, probably not, I guess. I love Putin. What you love Putin for? Putin sucks. I'll be rooting for Putin. Facepalm. All right, folks, I'll be back on Monday. As always, you want to support the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Patreon.com/podcast. Link in the description of the video. There's also a link in the description of the video where you can send direct tips, and my SoundCloud is in there. All kinds of stuff, folks. There will be Patreon-only content created in the future, even more of it. Hopefully it will be better than the last thing I did, Patreon-only, because it sucked, but I am getting better at it, folks. So support me if you want to. I'll be back on Monday. You guys have a good weekend. I love the shit out of you guys. As always, Transroads and Logic. Fuck yes. Good night, everybody. Let's do some wobble wobble on the way out. Wobble, wobble. Boom, ba boom, ba boom. Go, Fred Astaire. You do it. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Ginny Rude. Love you.